What's going on, YouTube? This is the first time, and hopefully not the last time that I do a pre-fight prediction on women's boxing. Maybe it's blowing up, maybe it's getting big. I don't know. Hopefully it is. It's about time. Because some female fighters are fun to watch. Before I get into this breakdown of this fight, I want to touch on something where Shield says she is the greatest woman of all time, and I highly disagree. I'm sorry, Shields. In my opinion, you have a lot to do to wear that title because the real vote, the real greatest woman fight, I won't even say of all time, fighter, greatest fighter, not just boxer, fighter of all time is by far Lucia Riker. If you don't know who Lucia Riker is, you need to look her up. I'm going to touch on her real fast and then I'll get into the breakdown of this fight. Lucia Riker was a female kickboxer turned boxer that was so good, so dominant that they let her fight a man. And if you look up her record, it'll say she has one kickboxing loss in an exhibition, but it was to a man. It was not to a female. She is undefeated in both sports. And Layla Ali, I love you. You sexy. You the finest female fighter big time that I know of with your tall ass fine at Layla. You're sexy. I'm just letting you know, Layla, look. I know you're married, but you're sexy. Anyways, off of that, back to what I was saying. Lucia Riker's only loss was to a man. Her boxing record was 17 wins, 0 losses with 14 knockouts. Her kickboxing record was 35 wins with 25 knockouts, and she does have one draw, which a lot of people will debate really was it a draw because in a few fights later she comes back and beats the girl. Her name was Linda Ladosa, if memory serves right, and she whooped her the second time they fought to make up for that draw. Kind of like what you had with a Wilder Tyson Fury, except they actually rematched. Now, outside of that, let's go through a couple of things about Lucia Riker, then we'll get into the meat and bones of this video. Lucia Riker's combined record between boxing and kickboxing, keep in mind she kickboxed first before turning professional boxer, was 52 wins, 0 losses with 1 draw. She had 39 knockouts in her career. These are the titles slash belts that she held during her professional reign in both sports. In kickboxing, she was the K1 Grand Prix 94 champion, the K2 Grand Prix 93 champion. She won a full contact title, IMFT World Lightweight title, World Kickboxing title, World Full Contact title, European title, ISKA World Super Lightweight title, and in boxing, she won the IBO Super Lightweight title. Now, I know what you're thinking. There's other great women out there. You had Layla, Christy Martin, and Ann Wolf. But I'm sorry, if you watch Lucia Riker, none of them compare to her. Just watch her abilities. She's like a Mayweather to watch. Beautiful how she does everything. Technique is as good as technique can be with her. Hell, if I make it big enough when I go back pro, Lucia Riker, if y'all out there, I'll take you as my trainer. Because if I could fight to a tenth of your ability, then I would be on my way to be a world champion. So with all that being said, let's get into what y'all really came here for, being that I've been ranting for about 4 minutes. Hammer versus Shields. Will the Hammer beat the Shield? Dropping Thor's hammer on Captain America's shield, who will win? Well, we already saw it in Marvel. The shield held up against the hammer. So that might be some foreshadowing right there by Stan Lee. What I see going on in this fight is Hammer is very slow. She has an amazing jab. She's got the European Klitschko jab where it's like a fucking machine. It's like a piston, like a Terminator arm hitting you. Bow, bow, bow. But outside of the jab, she doesn't have anything. Her hooks, her uppercuts, her straights are like a turtle. It's like watching a sloth move up a tree. It's too slow to hit somebody like Shields. Shields has to really mess up or just keep welling like she does to get caught because Hammer is very slow. So unless she's gained speed within this training camp, then I just do not see her being able to connect on Shields with anything significant other than the jab. What Hammer has to do to win this fight is she has got to just jab. She's got to make it look boring. She's got to make it look like a sparring match. She's got to stay away from Shields for at least the first 5 to 6 rounds until that jab can do damage to Shields and really slow Shields down. If she can't fight off the jab and she gets into a in the pocket close match with Shields, what I see Shields doing is every 5 to 6 punches Shields lands, Hammer might land one. And I say might because when Hammer throws, they're all loaded. They're all telegraphed. And especially when you're close to somebody, you can feel their body move. You can feel them adjust. And I see Shields with her Olympic pedigree being able to sense that body movement and just moving out the way. Now, the advantages in this fight for Hammer is, like I said, it's her jab. What you see a lot Shields doing is she leaps in with her hands down a lot. Really bad habit, especially against a good jabber. Now, Shields says that she's going to throw double, triple jabs, but even when Shields jabs, watch her. Her hands are always low. When she throws the jab, it doesn't come back here. It drops. Or she'll go here, 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 and every jab gets lower and lower. So I don't really see that being her game plan against a power jabber. What I see is them working on Shield, keeping her high guard, getting to the chest of Hammer, where Hammer is known to fight and known to miss a lot, and a lot of fighters get close to Hammer, and this is why I say she's going to lose, is once Shield gets in, Shields is just going to flail on her like she always does. The problem that I have with Shields in her technical stylistic part of fighting is I don't see Shields putting combos together. I don't see her placing punches. When she starts throwing, that's what she's doing. She's just throwing punches. I don't see any calculation. I don't see any, watching for the arms to drop. I don't see any pinpoint placing on the body. All I see is just somebody throwing punches. And it's been working thus far because, except for Hannah, when Hannah dropped her, and I'll get to that in just a second, it's been working for her because Shields is just like Hammer. She's a weight bully. When she comes in there, she'll be every bit 170 to 175. Hammer, same thing. She's going to be every bit 175, 180. Now, I'm not sure. I did not do research. I should have if there's a weight clause on this. But even if there is, it's irrelevant because even if there's not, they're both going to be very close to weight once they blow back up. They're going to be very similar in weight. So this is going to be one of the first times that Hammer's not going to have that weight advantage. Same goes with Shields. But in this case, when you're fighting a bigger person and you're the same size as that, I shouldn't say a bigger person, a taller person, but you're the same size as that bigger person, you can hit them 5 or 6 times before they can hit you once, you're at a huge advantage. And what I see happening is Shields going to get close to her. She's going to stay on her and just flail away. And I think that Hammer is either, you're going to see her give up to where she's going to get hit by something and just fall that shouldn't have knocked her down, or she's actually going to get knocked down and not get back up from being beat down. I don't see Shields as this devastating Mike Tyson type puncher. I see her just beating Hammer's body down, especially with Hammer being taller. It's easy for her to beat on and not miss. Hammer, like I said, I want to touch on this real fast. I know I get on tangents, so let me get on a tangent. There's a rumor going around that Hammer was really knocked out, that she should have already had a loss, that she shouldn't have her titles, that she did get knocked out, and I want to dismiss this rumor. If you watch that fight, Hammer did not get knocked out. It was a rightful disqualification on the other girl because a lot of people don't understand the rules of boxing. They never boxed. They never talked to anybody that boxed. They just watch it on TV and assume things. Let me explain. The back of the head, what the other girl got disqualified for, is not here in boxing. This is not where the back of the head starts, okay? It's from the ear back. So even if part of my glove touches this part of the opponent's ear, but my other part of the glove hits here or up here, it's an illegal punch. It's called a rabbit punch. Anything behind the ear. So meaning if you hit somebody on the ear, you better make sure your glove is centered on that ear, because if it's offset just a little to where the knuckle of the glove is here and the rest of the glove falls here, that's an illegal punch. You can get DQ'd automatically, or you can get a point taken away without a warning. The only time that hitting somebody in the back of the head is legal is if you're already throwing and they turn around and put their back towards you, and that was their way of avoiding the punch, but then you clip them. That's the only way it's legal. Other than that rare occurrence, very rare occurrence, anything behind the ear is an illegal punch. And if you watch the replay, the girl even comes around her and she hits her behind the ear all the way down. So yes, in a sense, Hammer was knocked out, but anybody will get knocked out by being hit behind the head. You're not built to be hit there. So let's get back to it. What I have seen from Hammer is very durable. She's taking punches, but then again, like I said, she's a weight bully. So she's been durable against people much smaller than her. This is going to be the first time weight-wise. What I mean by size is weight, not height. Because weight is all that matters. It doesn't matter if you're tall and skinny or short and heavy. If you're the same weight, you're the same weight. It's going to be the first time Hammer's ever been in there really with somebody her same size as far as weight goes. Now, what I will say is I do not believe Shields is 5'9.5" like she claims to be. The reason why I say this is I have seen Shields standing next to Errol Spence, and Errol Spence was taller than her. Errol Spence is supposedly 5'9", so we can go ahead and cut off that half an inch right there. Maybe it was a camera angle. Let's say she's 5'9" even. But it gets better. Not only have I seen her standing next to Errol Spence, but I've seen Errol Spence stand next to Crawford when they had that confrontation. And guess who was taller? Crawford. Crawford is 5'7", and he was taller than Errol Spence. You could see he had a good half an inch to an inch on Errol Spence, which really makes me question how tall Errol Spence really is. And if that is true, that would explain why Hammer, who's only 5'11", looks like she's 6'2", standing next to Shields. I'm just going to throw that out there. So, like I said, the biggest part of this fight is Shields getting on the inside. If Hammer can stay out and just jab her, power jab her for the first 5 or 6 rounds, make people throw popcorn, sodas, boo, yell, boring, boring, make people yell that, then she can win the fight. But once again, all Shields has to do is keep her hands up, move in, and she can well away on her. Doesn't have to be technical, and Shields will win. To get to the conclusion of this, past the key points of what each fighter needs to do, I believe Shields will knock Hammer out once again. Like I said earlier, Hammer's either going to just give up because she's just been beat on too much, or she's going to actually get put away in the later rounds. I'm looking at mid to later rounds, so we'll say 7 to 9 rounds, because women's boxing is only 10 rounds. And it's harder for women to knock people out too, because you got to keep in mind they only have 2 minutes to work with. But I still say between the 7th and 9th round, I think Shields will knock her out. Me personally, Shields, I'm sorry. I would love to see you lose, to knock you off your high horse, to make you realize that you're not the best there's ever been. You got a lot of time to claim that title. And I see Hammer going to sleep. So I would like to see Hammer win, but I highly doubt that's going to happen. I believe Shields is going to win by knockout. Thank y'all for watching. And all the rambling that I do, I'm sorry, but you know what? That sets me apart from the other channels. And please, if you like this, subscribe. I have to get my subscriptions up to 1,000 or I can no longer live stream. I will be doing a live commentary on this fight on fight day. So just look up the time of the fight and then come to my channel if you want to hear a live commentary of how it's going. Thank y'all for watching. Once again, goodbye.